Hello, little chatfish, and welcome back to another glorious day, another glorious bunchcast. How are my little fishes doing today? Are they doing well? Are they behaving? Hmm? Are they slacking, perhaps, on this fine New Year's Day? I would expect them to be slacking. Slacking, lazy, fat, bloated from all the feasting, the usual. So, we don't have a lot of news for today's Fireside Chat because, to be honest, not a lot has actually happened. At least when I double checked over everything, because I had like one thing for myself for this bunchcast, and none of my guests have shown up, so they're also dead unless they have something else before I end this. There's like literally one bit of news I have, but it's actually rather big, and it's actually like it so while it is only one piece of news, it's probably like big enough to actually be its own dedicated bunchcast or slash fireside chat because there's really a lot to delve into. So if you haven't been following and you aren't familiar, the news is that basically Good Old Games, which if you guys are familiar with, is the store app that sort of competes with Steam. That no Chumpus, because there are no guests here, so fuck off. Now, more importantly, the big thing is that GOG is getting acquired by its original co-founder. Why is this big? Well, let's be blue. I'm going to be brutally honest. CD Projekt Red has been mismanaging GOG for the better part of ever since its creation. We know from internal leaks from GOG itself that they lack proper funding, they lack proper resourcing, they have basically nothing, and that's kind of it. They have absolutely no resources. And because they have no resources, they can't really do anything with it. Like, there are features they want to be doing more. They want to be restoring more games and stuff like that. They want to be able to have, like, their own built-in mod support stuff. But to be brutally honest, they have nothing. The only thing GOG has really going for it is that it sometimes includes patches, fixes, and bonus extras when you buy older games there that you would never normally otherwise find. Sometimes even including patches worked into some of the games like Cold Fear, etc. Now, only a few games are like Cold Fear where they have like GOG's team actually work on it a little bit in the sense that they patch it, they add some mods or not mods, but like fan patches or whatever, and they basically make it so that it basically boots off the box and has widescreen support and basic, modern features. This is big because no other platform offers this functionality. The reason why that's so important is that often when you go to another store page, let's say Steam, which I do like Steam, but it is worth noting that Steam does not have any support. It doesn't have anything. It literally has nothing. When you buy the game, like, they have the discussion forums, and if it doesn't boot out of the box, you just wasted your money. And that's that. You wasted your money, and that's all I have to say on that. Versus GOG, sometimes, not always, some games, not all games, are more likely to boot out of the box because they're more likely to have some sort of support or like the latest patches that were released or whatever and whatnot. Or even some fixes from the GOG support team. So that's pretty big deal because that means that it's a place you can buy an older game and it's more likely to run. Now, again, why is this important? Well, CD Projekt Red is an incredibly incompetent and corrupt company. They lied to their audience and about like several things. Not only did they lie, they got caught lying. They are heavily invested into DEI programs and things like that. Like they're basically a lost cause. CD Projekt Red is more or less the Blizzard of the modern day in the sense that they're just as corrupt and they're no longer a company where we can more or less go like, oh yeah, they're going to produce a game that's going to be interesting. It's going to be a woke slop or it's going to be some form of slop, and that's what they're going to be producing now. But that point aside, the big thing here is that again, with GOG being separate, GOG now has a chance to finally eclipse and emerge from the shadows because it's no longer going to be constantly having its money embezzled and basically pulled away from it, all of its profitability. It can actually start, and again, this is hopeful, the co-founder, Michael Kaczynski, or whatever his name is, right, can start investing into it and start putting money back into GOG. No longer will GOG be siphoning its resources to that. Now, again, that's a big hope that it's not just turned into a private little banky or extraction banky thing. But like, yeah. The other thing is they did mention some things, and this is from GOG's official post. GOG will be staying DRM free, which again is crucial to its survival. GOG Galaxy remains optional, meaning you don't actually have to have it. Now, the GOG Galaxy launcher is worth getting, in my opinion, but, that point aside. The mission stays the same, making games live forever. We'll keep them playable over time, revive classics properly, and stick to gamer-friendly policies. Again, good policies that they've had, and I don't have any reason to suspect that they wouldn't do that, by the way. And they basically about CD Projekt Red games. We'll also continue our close cooperation with CD Projekt Red, and their upcoming titles will remain available on GOG. Yeah, basically saying that we'll keep putting their games on here, but they don't own us anymore, which again is perfectly logical. But yeah, that's kind of it for today. So that was the big news. The big news is, again, GOG is going independent. GOG will be independent, and this is a good thing and only could be a good thing. The only thing that we're going to have to wait and see is whether or not this being independent will actually see benefits, such as, and I would imagine there would be, GOG getting continued support, being patched and better and all that, and also seeing more more games being restored in general, as there's a greater focus on convincing these older corporations and publishers to put their games on there. And that concludes the GOG subject, because there's nobody else to talk to about it, so that's it. Boop, done. Next and lastly, the NVIDIA news is continuing to get dire. As we've talked about, AI has been a colossal disaster for the games industry, but not just the games industry. Mostly, it's more effective, and I guess, in a way, I guess we all kind of knew it was, right? But AI was going to ultimately affect the consumers the most. You are going to be the first victims in it. You will suffer the most, and you are suffering already. Your suffering has begun in a new, beautiful fashion. GPUs are going to be increasing exponentially by $3,000. So, wonderful news. Wonderful. So, yeah. They're going to be continuing to raise GPU prices, by the way. There is no sign of it slowing down. GPUs such as the RTX 5090 will be increasing from $2,000 to $5,000, and they pledge that they will be increasing the price furthermore in a short order. So, not only will it be $5,000, but they are going to be raising the prices yet further. The AI stuff is going to continue to get worse, and there is really no sign of slowing down. This is merely just the beginning. Just the beginning. The AI bubble will continue to inflate until it either bursts or basically completely destroys the gaming market, and the death of PC gaming will begin, if that actually does occur. So let me explain something really basic, right? So you know how the housing market, right, in the 1940s was relatively cheap, right? You could get a house and it wouldn't actually eclipse your income too much. But as time went on, the housing market continued to inflate in costs to the point where instead of it being like $10,000, $15,000, it went to $700,000, $500,000, and stuff like that, like we have today. To the point where it takes you decades to pay off, so that you're like going to be like 20 to 30 years from now, if you get a house, will you actually pay off and own, quote unquote, your house, right? Quote unquote own, right? Because the government technically will just tax you out of it if you don't have money for it, But yeah, so that's interesting, right? And that fundamentally changed how easy it was to acquire a home, and that fundamentally, raped the American dream, right? Because the concept of being able to own things, being able to have things, faded away, right? In the same vein that the games industry, being able to own a gaming PC will no longer be something that's affordable. As the AI bubble continues to increase, as AI continues its horrific advance, we will continue to be the victims of this. It will not be the people you want to be suffering. No, you are the ones who will suffer. And you're already suffering. And I find it rather funny. Because there's really nothing you can do about it except destroying all AI data centers, right? The death of AI could not come at a better day than today. So yeah, there you have it, chat. Things are going to get worse. AI is going to continue to make your life more miserable, and yeah, and it kind of just sucks. I mean, it kinda just sucks. If you don't have a gaming PC, you are fucked. And like I hate that it's just that matter of factly, but yeah, you're fucked. You are fucked. If you have a gaming PC and your graphics card breaks, you are fucked. You will have to pay $5,000 for a new GPU. And that price, by the way, as they said, is only going to increase. And they want it to increase by a lot. They want it more than likely, they're going to eclipse $10,000 by the end of the year if this current trajectory is going to go for GPU. So yeah, get ready for that. $10,000 GPUs by 2027. Beautiful. They've done it, chat. They finally got it. You know what they want? You're going to be putting down you're going to buy it like a car and you're going to have to pay down payments on it. That's what they want. Oh my God. So yeah, that's going to be pretty terrible. It's going to be beautiful, isn't it? Chat, are you excited? Like, yeah, we so excited, kid. We can't afford nothing. There's still the possibility that when the AI bubble bursts, all the used PC parts will flood the market. That's not necessarily going to happen the way you'd imagine it would. So when the AI bubble bursts, what's more likely to happen is that these companies like NVIDIA and AMD might not survive it. And because if they don't survive it or nobody picks up the infrastructure or logistical systems in place that they have to manufacture and produce these things, these graphics cards will not be produced fast enough to meet that demand for many years because of that. And so if nobody swoops in to purchase these things, that's going to happen. And so what's more likely going to happen is that these little corporations are going to waddle over to the government and be like, I want government help. And then the government's just going to hand them money to bail them out. Your money, mind you. So, good job, you. Good job, you. So, yeah. The AI thing is only going to get worse. That's the sad reality. And AI is only going to affect a number of things going forward. Like we've already talked about, it's not even debatable. It's not even disputable because it's already happened. Your electrical bills, if you have data centers near you, will continue to increase. There will be rolling brownouts. You'll need to get used to that. That's not going to change. Not only that, you're also going to have to deal with the fact that you're not going to be able to buy a new GPU ever again. Not until that bubble bursts. So, yeah, there you have it. That's a Bunchcast, or well, Fireside Chat. And that's it. That's all we had to talk about today. So we're going to be rating into the next stream, and we'll see you guys there. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was kind of positive because we got to talk about, good old games. And that was the good news, but everything else was kind of shit.